Welcome home, nephews. All right, fellas, tighten up and tune in. It's Monday night, and if you're here, it's because something in your life needs direction, structure, or truth that no one else has the backbone to give you. Welcome to Ask Your Favorite Uncles, the space where men come when the world fails them and they still refuse to fold. Johnny, how you doing this evening?
Man, pretty good. It was a cold but eventful weekend. Steelers managed to take one game from the Ravens. Love to see that happen. Pens didn't do so good last night. No big deal. But I got to tell you, it is colder than your ex's soul here in Pittsburgh. It's about 19 degrees outside right now. Not fun, but, hey, other than that, we're going to make the best of a bad situation. And by bad situation, I mean crap weather. But we make the best of it. We get out there and run when we can, and we do our cardio indoors if we have to.
Shout out to Minnie Mom. Shout out to Shannon Scott in the chat. We appreciate you tapping in tonight. All right, nephews, we're talking dating, discipline, fatherhood, boundaries, the real stuff, right? The heavy stuff, the stuff that you can't speak about anywhere else without being judged, dismissed, laughed at. Not here. Here, we give you clarity. You get accountability. Here, you get truth wrapped in love, even if that love stings a little bit going down. And understand this, nephews, we don't talk down to you. We don't perform for you. And we certainly don't sugarcoat things for you. We speak to you the way men should have spoken to us when we were coming up. So, hey, grab a seat, settle in, because tonight, something in your life is going to shift. Not by magic, by truth, by ownership, and by choosing to step into the man you are meant to be. Shout out to your favorite uncles.
Yeah, exactly, Uncle Bill. Where you're setting your own program, you're putting your own routine together, and the things that you're going to allow into your life are things that fit into that and help you move that forward. Not to hold you back, not to keep you still. This is a journey, not a destination, guys. Let's get it. Yeah.
Shout out to Buddha. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Hey.
Hi, Johnny.
So we got a couple of questions. Yeah, we got a couple questions tonight, guys, and this is yet another example of why we say cancel your subscription to her issues. Question one, as I drop my tablet. This one's from Evan. Evan says, "I'm feeling like I'm going to throw my heart up." First of all, don't do that. He said, "My girlfriend, she's 30, he's 25." He said they're together going over a year and a half. A few things happened where we needed a couple of days apart. Now she doesn't even want complicated. She has a date. I'm guessing he sent this on a Friday. She has a date tomorrow, which is Saturday. And the last Friday, he said, we were perfect. Having a smoke and cuddling in my truck. Then suddenly this. I'm trying to text and continue my effort towards her because I love her. I don't want to let her go. I'm trying and trying. We went sledding again yesterday. It was amazing. Memories with her and her son. He calls me dad. I have so many cautions for you on that one, my friend. I've changed my schedule for this woman, and I've done A to Z for her, and now she's just ignoring me. She reads my messages like, please try to have a connection again. I don't know what to do. I'm the one with the license. I drove her everywhere. I drove us to Florida and back. We were talking about marriage just a few weeks ago, and now this. I don't know what to do. I feel like I'm boiling over. I'm trying to stay calm. I'm trying to stay at work and keep my mind off it. Then, after sledding, she said she loved it and me so much. Then she said she has to see how her date goes Saturday and will call me on Sunday. When I asked her out, I took her and her son out to. They still have friendlies? I should have figured out I should have asked where he's from. I didn't. Anyway, I miss Friendlies. Great place. An amazing little date, but now she's going out on a kid-free date with someone else. I'm scared what's going to happen. I'm scared I'm going to lose her and the stepson I've grown to love so much. Even after her telling me all this, I still gave her money for her son for Christmas and took her out to dinner. Am I stupid for holding out? Am I an idiot? I love her, but I don't know what to do. I think you stood there and listened longer than you should have stuck around in general. I mean, I wouldn't have let her finish those sentences. I would have been out the door by then. Holy bloody hell. I mean, so.
All right, nephew, pull up a chair. This is where your uncles stop the bleeding. Okay. Oh man. There's a lot to okay. Here's the thing. You're not stupid. It's Evan, right?
Yes.
Okay, Evan, you're not stupid. You're just in love. And when a man is in love, he'll tolerate things he'd never accept otherwise. Take it from Unc, okay? But I need you to hear this clearly because you're being phased out while she lines up her next option. All right.
Yeah,
Women
bro,
don't go from cuddling in a truck to I have a date Saturday because of a small argument or a couple of days apart. That's not sudden. That's revealed. All right. She didn't wake up confused. She woke up done. All right. And she's trying to soft exit without saying the words, and you're not picking up on the subtle cues. All right. And the hardest part is she's letting you act like the boyfriend while she's auditioning someone else. You're funding her kid's Christmas. You're driving her around everywhere. Bro, you're giving her emotional support. And she's emotionally detaching while keeping you around for convenience and comfort. That's not love. That's use. And
by the time she's...
Go ahead, Johnny. Tell him.
My friend, by the time she's going out on a date with somebody else, it's already been over for months. By the time she actually tells you she's going out on a date with somebody else, she's been out with him 2 or 3 times by now. The thing you need to remind yourself of is that there's going to be a very fine line between what you want her to be saying to you and what she's actually saying to you. In this case, it's a pretty bold, pretty clear line. Her actions are going to tell you what she really intends on doing. And here's the thing. Not only are her actions showing you something you don't want to see, but her words are backing them up. I don't know what more signal you need. She's not sending you mixed signals, my friend. She is basically telling you that she is moving on with a date and she will let you know. Now, one of 2 things is happening here. She's either hoping that you will say, screw that and walk away, which if that's the case, I'm with her on that. Or she's going to see if you're willing to stick around, despite the fact that she's seeing somebody else, if you are going to be okay with being that backup plan, because guess what? If things don't work out with this guy, she wants to know she can fall back on you if that's what she's doing. So here's the thing. The minute she is telling you she is not committed to you is the minute you are not taking her sledding anymore. It's the time you are not handing her any more of your money. It shouldn't even be any more of you handing her your attention. If she thinks things are better without you, give her what she's asking for. Instead of waiting in the wings and hoping and praying that love will prevail. The only thing prevailing is her sense of, in this particular case, hypergamy. She was looking for that better offer, and she thinks she's found it. You are basically allowing her to do that while you stand by and let her do what she's doing. This is exactly why you're getting dragged, dude.
All right, nephew, here's the truth I need you to hear right now. You don't chase someone who is scheduling dates while still thinking about you. All right, that's not a relationship. That's disrespect. But the bigger problem is that you taught this woman you'll accept crumbs. So every time she pulls away, you push harder. Okay. She learns that she doesn't have to give more. And I got to tell you something else too. The child is not the reason to stay. And I know that bond hurts.
Even if he was.
The moment she moved on, she showed she's willing to break that bond too. And here's something else I need you to understand. If she wanted you, there would be no date on Saturday. That's it. Full stop.
In fact, there would be no doubt in your mind that she wanted you.
Now, one thing we love to do here, because you took the time to wrote into us, and we love you for that, and I appreciate you for that. It gives me the opportunity to fulfill my purpose and serve and be here for you guys. So we always want to give you the game on what you should be doing going forward. So I'm going to do that for you right now, sir. What you need to do right now is stop texting, stop chasing. You have to stop funding anything and stop waiting to see how her date goes. The fact that she even said that to your face tells you exactly how she values you. Let her date.
Yeah.
Let her go. Your dignity is worth more than this slow emotional death. I mean, look, she
Painful, slow
realizes she
emotional
made
death.
a mistake. She will come back on her own, not because you begged, but brother, don't bet on it. Right now, save yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, nothing good is going to come from you hanging on to this. You know, here's the thing. If you're being dragged by a moving vehicle, and the only reason you're being dragged is because you're holding on to the rope that's being towed, is it better to hold on to the vehicle and let yourself get scraped up, and then maybe the next stop sign you can get up and jump in? Or maybe you think it might be a better idea to just let go of the rope. You know, you've already been dragged far enough here. Um, I mean, but if you want to go ahead and wait for this date to pan out or see how it goes, here's what I'll predict what's going to happen. She's going to go ahead and like this guy, and she's going to say, "But you know, my little boy got really attached to you, and I really hope you'll stay involved in his life, though, so that way maybe she can still continue to get some resources from you. You should cut that off if that's the way she goes on it. Um, no matter what, the solution for you that really shouldn't even matter. All right, I'm just saying that if you, but the way this story should end, excuse me, the way the story should end is by you saying, "Listen, take all the time you need to figure things out. Take all the time in the world. Go out on all the dates in the world. You know, this is obviously something that's not working for you. It's not going to be something that's going to be working for me. How do you want to feel when this is over? Do you want to feel like you're completely broken, on your knees crying, you know, Adele songs to your cat with an empty bottle of whiskey next to you? Or do you want to try to realize that you were worth more than this situation? You're worth more than what you're being treated as. You are, you know, and even if you're not worth that to anybody else, you should be worth that to yourself. You know, we have a life expectancy of what is it, 82 years now, Bill? Something like that.
Something like
Uh,
that.
and what, you're 25 years old. You might think you got the rest of your life, but and you really do. So don't spend the rest of your life either grieving about what has already gone wrong or so goddamn worried about what's going to go wrong in the future should you ever venture into this scary thing called love again. It doesn't have to be scary. It could be you deciding that you love and respect yourself enough to develop your own routine, your own program, and your own principles to follow. And once you have that as your foundation, it's going to be pretty damn easy to figure out what you want, what you don't want out of life. And once you've done that, guess what? Now you do the choosing. You decide who fits that. You decide who fits that program. You decide who fits that itinerary of the way you want the next few years or the next several years of your life to go. This is your ship to sail. And nothing that anybody else is going to do is going to steer you on course or off course. You are the only one that can do that. Full steam ahead, man. Let's go. This is your life. Let's live it. For you, not them.
Uncle Johnny, I respect you so much. I am so glad that you mentioned to this young man the next few years of his life, because that's what I want to help him focus on, is what he needs to do moving forward. And he's not going to do this for revenge. He's not going to follow these steps that we give him to win her back. He's going to do this to rebuild his spine, regain his dignity, and become emotionally stable. All right. So I'd like to give him a few things that he needs to do to get himself back in control, especially of his own nervous system.
Yeah.
All right. Number one, nephew, you have to completely detox from her. Shout out to Uncle Johnny. No contact equals no confusion.
And at this point,
you need full separation. I'm talking no texting, no checking her socials, no waiting for her Sunday call. Right
and you know
now,
something? You know something? When I
is addicted to her. Okay, so
Yeah.
every message, every memory, every photo is a hit. cutting her off isn't punishment. It's withdrawal from emotional dependency. Okay. You're not going to heal while staying plugged into the source of your damage. All right. Number 2.
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead, Johnny.
Well, and I was just saying, Evan, to that point, I would say at this point, I would even say it's okay to use the training wheels. If you have to actually block her in order to be able to stay away from contacting her, I'm all for it. Listen, 16 and a half years ago, I quit smoking cigarettes. Did I do a cold turkey? Hell no, I used the patch. Is it cheating? Yes. But did I still quit? Also, yes. So if you have to block her, if you have to like figure out a way where she can't get through to any of your devices, any of your accounts, that's probably what you're going to have to do here because it really sounds like your draw to her is a little stronger than it should be, especially given what she has already been willing to put you through and has seen what you're willing to take at minimum. Yeah, I think that this is definitely an addiction to the dopamine you feel when she actually reaches out to you. So it might not even be about her. And let's face it, at the end of the day, if you can think deep enough, you can be introspective enough, I think you'll come to realize that what you're feeling here has a lot more to do with you than it does to do with her. Think about it. She's not the love of your life. She's a shitty person. Okay? Why are you drawn to that? You're drawn to that because you get a little bit of a dopamine rush when she actually does respond. You get a little bit of that warm fuzzy when she actually is doing something that she kind of is supposed to do. You know? You are more addicted to that, I think, than you are to who this girl is, because if you're addicted to who this girl is, I suggest therapy prior to your next relationship.
Okay, nephew, the second thing I need you to do is rebuild your routine and structure starting immediately. Now, what you need to do is get on the Johnny Dumbbell workout challenge. Shout out to Johnny Dumbbell. You need a gym routine that's locked in. You need to clean up your sleep schedule. You need to eat deliberately, not emotionally. So many of us seek comfort in food, especially when we're going through hard times or breakup. And I'd like to see you get into some kind of hobbies. It doesn't even have to be lifting, but anything that creates forward momentum for you. Discipline is the antidote to heartbreak. Okay, idle time is where men self-destruct. So to that point, 3, I'd like you to invest in social circles and support systems. All right. This woman became your entire ecosystem. The kid, the trips, the holidays, the fantasy of a future. What I'd like you to do is reconnect with some of your friends, your families, coworkers, mentors is what I'd really like to see. I'd like to see you subscribe to Uncle Johnny's channel and continue to follow up with him and let Uncle Johnny mentor you some more. You need activities that remind you that you matter outside of this relationship, nephew. All right. When men lose their only source of emotional connection, some of them tend to spiral. And I'd like you to have multiple sources of grounding right now. 4, rebuild your self-respect through boundaries. All right. This woman didn't break you, nephew. She abandoned you.
And you learned one more thing that you shouldn't tolerate in a relationship. This is one more thing that you can say. Look, before I call another woman my girlfriend, she should know that I don't date or commit to women who do what this woman is doing right now. I think that whatever boundary you like to set is reasonable as long as you set it up front, establish it up front, and more importantly, stick to it. You might catch crap for it because, God forbid, you have a standard and you stick to it with some people. But the fact of the matter is that you're going to have that as a standard for your own life. You are going to have to be the one who's not willing to compromise on things that you're not willing to compromise on. What's happening here is that this guy's willing to accept a lower standard of treatment in order to stay in a relationship. And look, that's just never going to fly. That's never going to benefit you. That is never going to make you or even the partner who's doing it to you happy. In the long run, you're both going to be miserable for as long as you're together, which in this case probably won't be long.
All right. Well, here's what I need you to understand. If you ever had boundaries, you forgot all about them to keep her. So I need you to identify why you overgave. And I also need you to put some work into identifying why you ignore red flags. And most
ignore him. He ran right at him.
Well, yeah. Well, but okay. Well, if we're talking about boundaries, you need to learn how to lead a relationship instead of react to it. So pain without reflection becomes a pattern, but pain with reflection, nephew, that becomes wisdom. Now, 5, last. All right. I need you to start a mission bigger than this woman. All right. I know women become intoxicating, especially when a man has no larger purpose. So we're going to have you start with a fitness goal. I'd like to see you build a skill. I'd like to know a little bit more about your work because you should be trying to advance at work and pursue some kind of creative project. You want to be interesting, especially when you're out meeting new women. I'm gonna give it to you straight, nephews. It's some sucker shit to try to impress women. However, you should be the kind of man who is impressive to everyone everywhere you go.
First person you need to impress is you.
Well, a man on a mission becomes magnetic. And bro, men who chase women, they're just invisible. They really are. All right. So right now you feel empty because you built this life around her. So you need to build a life that has nothing to do with her. You need a whole new identity for yourself. All right. She walked out. Cool. Now you're going to move on. You're going to follow these 5 steps. You're going to stay subscribed to Johnny Dumbbell, and you're going to check back in with us in a few weeks because we would love to hear your progress. And I just want to say thank you so much for writing in tonight, nephew.
So yeah, Evan, the relationship's cooked, but you, my friend, are not. All right. All right. So we got question 2 from Jameson. And Jameson wants to know, is this cheating? You already know it's going to be good.
Bruh.
He said, my girlfriend of 2 years and I have been struggling recently, so we were on a break. An exclusive break, meaning...
Then how is she your girlfriend?
No, it's okay. It's okay. He says it's an exclusive break, meaning they won't see anybody else.
Bruh.
So yeah, don't worry. It's a commitment break.
Hold on, Johnny. I just need to give a shout out to Boss Mac Topsoil.
And that right there is all you need to know about bitches.
An exclusive break?
Oh yeah, where they're not together, but they're not seeing anybody else because that's how it works.
That's the most insecure thing I think I may have ever heard, Johnny. But okay,
see, they're not. These guys aren't Gen X. They didn't see what happened with Ross and Rachel, which is totally realistic. No, he says so. We were in contact somewhat, but it was mutually agreed on. I saw her talking to some guy and laughing with him for 2.5 hours at a basketball game. I'm sorry. Were you sitting there at the basketball game watching them talk for 2.5 hours? You better at least know the final score of that game.
What?
Without looking it up. Okay, that's a little much. But anyway, the thing is, I didn't know they were friends at all. I brought it up and it turned into us actually breaking up, but still keeping in contact and trying to make it work.
A few moments later.
A few moments later, he was trying to make it work. She wasn't. We set some ground rules on people we can and cannot see during this break, and this guy that she was talking to was one of the no-sees. A few days later, I see her location is turned off. She's on D&D, which I'm assuming is Dungeons and Dragons, unless I'm old. I don't know. But she has a full face of makeup on. One day, or one of my buddies comes over, and I start talking about what happened between her and me. He says that this guy's been telling him that they're talking. I asked him to check this guy's location, and they're at the same house. I knew because her Snap location was still on, but not her Find My iPhone. Dude. Just want to say the FBI and the NSA would love to have a chat with you. They would want to know if you want a job. Anyway, they're going to offer you a good position. I text her and ask her who she's with. She says her female friend's name and her boyfriend. I'm not going to say names, she says.
Stop the cap.
I know this is a lie because I know she's with this guy also. I ask again and she doubles down. So right now she is turned
I'm sorry. I'm stopped.
I feel like I could stop here, but I'm not going to. I'm going to keep this going.
Keep going.
So right now she has turned off her location. She'd been telling people she's single before we actually broke up and hanging out with this dude and lying to me. She's on D&D and ignoring me while she's with this guy. Now she's calling me insane for getting mad. She is now publicly hanging out with this guy after I broke up with her the night I caught her. And I'm being told that she's saying she didn't cheat. Is this actually cheating? Am I insecure? No, my friend, you are way, way beyond insecure. You are obsessed with this girl. I want to know how long ago she thinks you broke up versus how long ago you think you broke up. That's what I want to know. I want to know how far past the whole I don't want to see this guy anymore she is, based on where and when you seem to think that it happened. Because something tells me that this was she's breaking up with you and you said, okay, but I'm waiting for you as long as you don't see anybody else. I'm going to see somebody else. Oh, well, but we're on an exclusive break. This is a mess, dude. You are a mess. You are too obsessed with what she's doing. For you to know that she sat and talked to a guy for 2.5 hours at a basketball game that I'm starting to guess you didn't even watch. You just know way too much about this girl and her whereabouts for this to be any kind of healthy for you or her. I'm going to go ahead and say that if you have to look where her location is and deal with the fact that she's not telling you the truth about where she is she lying to you because she's sparing your feelings, or is she lying to you because she's afraid you might show up? This is a situation where she has let go of this relationship a long time before you have. As a matter of fact, to my knowledge, it doesn't look like you have yet. And all you're doing at this point is letting your imagination run wild and wonder and worry about this woman who has already been past being in a relationship with you is doing. Man, you got to start finding a direction for yourself. You're sending your entire life around not only her, but her direction.
All right, nephew. Like we always say here, it's all love here. But sometimes it's tough love. So let's cut the polite nonsense, shall we? Yeah, she cheated. Maybe not physically that you know of, but emotionally, logistically, and intentionally. All right, here's what she did.
Even if she didn't, this is clearly over.
I know, Johnny, but humor me here.
Yeah.
Okay, she agreed to an exclusive break, and then she broke that exclusivity. She lied about who she was with. She hid her location. She went full makeup for another man, which she told people she was single before you broke up. What'd you say? She spent hours with this guy that she didn't even disclose existed. And then she got mad at you for discovering it. Am I wrong about that?
I don't even know. I think she actually called him insane because he's following up with her after she thinks they've been broken up. I think what's happening here is that he has not accepted the breakup itself yet. Well, that's what I'm worried about.
Okay, Johnny, cheating, it's not just bodies touching. One could go as far to argue that it's deleting evidence, it's creating secrecy, and even building intimacy with someone else behind your back. All right, now
they
the
accidentally
lied twice, the conversation was over, bro.
Yeah.
You don't lie to protect nothing. You lie because something was happening, or she wanted it to. Bro, it was about to. So
yeah,
well, Johnny, let me just finish this up. Calling you
Yeah.
insane, it's deflection. All right. You caught her. She panicked. She flipped the script to make you feel unstable. And now she's publicly hanging out with him? Come on, nephew. She was already with him while claiming you were working on things.
Yep.
You were the backup plan. Okay. Are you insecure?
At least she didn't tell him to call her back after the date.
Well, Johnny, do you think he's insecure? Because one could argue that this is a man who saw a lie, a second lie, a hidden location, a guy she's emotionally attached to, disrespect, and a pattern.
Well, his question
I'm
is,
not sure if that's insecurity. That definitely is awareness, if nothing else.
the question he's asking is she cheating or am I insecure? And my question is both. Yes, both. Because here's the thing. You're not insecure because you suspect her of cheating and she may or may not be. No, I'm pretty sure she is. You're insecure because you are still willing to hold on to this relationship. You are still willing to, if she calls you right now, let's face it. If she calls you right now and wanted to come over, you'd have her, you would invite her over. You would have her back. You would take her back at the stage because you are so worried about her being with somebody other than you. You are willing to let go of all of her transgressions. That is what makes you insecure. Because right now it seems like you are sticking with this because you either think you don't deserve or are incapable of obtaining better. And in this particular situation, you can obtain better, especially when it comes to this kind of treatment. It wouldn't be that hard to obtain better treatment. But the thing of it is, you got to believe that you're worth it. And you're going to need to spend a little bit of time because that mental and spiritual growth, it's really only going to efficiently happen for you the right way while you're alone. And I know that thought scares the shit out of you right now, but this is what you need. You need to break off contact with her. You need to discover yourself. It's going to be a process. It's not going to happen overnight. It's probably not going to happen over the next couple of months. But there is a process. If you trust the process, you follow it. You can decide what that process is. You can set that goal and make a plan for reaching that goal. But the fact of the matter is that until you realize who you are and how you are going to approach things that are difficult in your life, or at the very worst or the very best, less than easy, you have no business trying to share what little you do know about yourself or respect about yourself with somebody else and hope to God that they fall head over heels for it. If you only love and respect yourself a little bit, you're only going to be able to share that little bit of yourself. And for a lot of these girls, a lot of these relationships, a lot of what you're looking for, that's just not going to be enough. You need more from you. Get it?
Well said, Johnny. Always appreciate your wisdom. Now, nephew, I got some good news for you. You are in luck because you tapped in with Ask Your Favorite Uncles, and we're here to give you the game on how you need to move forward with this. So, the obvious first answer is to walk away, but do so cleanly. Block her on everything. Everything. Block her. And don't justify it to anyone. Just let her go play house with this guy she swore was just a friend.
Yeah.
She probably didn't even cheat out of weakness. She cheated because she knew you'd keep negotiating your worth. Yep. Don't negotiate again.
Probably that, but basing it on whether she stays. Yeah. I think one of the hardest things for young men to understand is that nobody else is responsible for telling you what you're worth. And nobody else would know. And one of the biggest things is that you are going to have to, one of the hardest things to figure out is how to wrap your brain around that. Because, when you get older, you start to realize what other people truly think of you, none of your business. Yeah, it's about you, but it's their thoughts. Likewise, you improving your life, you taking those steps forward and having that process, having that way that you are going to reach whatever goals you decided to set. Nobody's going to have to walk that path except for you. So, appreciate and take the advice when they give it. But when you're weighing on whether or not to actually go through with it, remember that it's your future. Do you trust this person you got the advice from? Do you trust your instinct more? And you're not going to always make the right decision. And that's why you got your uncles here, man. If you're not sure what to do, believe me, one of us has probably screwed it up one way or the other. Give us a call, send me an email. But this is your path, and it's your program, it's your journey. You decide the speed, you decide the destination, and you decide how you want that journey to go. You can do it the easy way or the hard way. The easy way does seem harder, but it only seems that way. In the long run, it only seems that way.
Shout out to Ask Your Favorite Uncles. We're here for you, nephews. I appreciate you writing in tonight, sir. And if you need a little bit of follow-up wisdom from either one of us, and you want to talk a little bit more privately about your situation, I'd love to help you out with this a little bit more, nephew.
And also check your inbox. I sent you, if you're watching, check your inbox. I sent you the first 3 weeks of the Johnny Dumbbell program, and it's going to give you, or 3 phases of the Johnny Dumbbell program. I think you're going to like it if you follow it.
Shout out to the Johnny Dumbbell challenge.
All right, so we got question number 3 tonight. The last but not least, this is from Tony. And Tony, I got to tell you, you could have left this as the subject. The subject of this was how do I navigate being the backup option for a woman? Now, we all want to scream at the screen you're watching right now. The short answer is you don't.
Bruh.
But we're going to break down the situation, because here is exactly how broken down he's become that causes him to ask such a question. As ridiculous as that sounds, this is where this came from. He says, I met a woman on an app. Right before the first date, she makes a bunch of updates to her dating profile. I'm usually not a fan of that, but I can understand since we hadn't been on a date yet. Then we do a first date, which I thought was decent. I asked for a second date, for the following weekend. She said yes, but wants to confirm with me on Friday. At this point, seems more red flags, since it seems she's waiting to see if she can find something better to do on the weekend. Then the next day, she makes some more updates, to her dating profile, although smaller changes this time. But you noticed them. Honestly, it's pretty apparent that I'm not her first choice, and she's actively looking for something better on the apps. I am also continuing to look, mostly because she's not really giving me strong signals right now. Is there anything I can do besides continuing going out with her, assuming she even accepts a second date in the end? Frankly, I don't have better options right now, so I'm kind of stuck being the backup option. You are operating from a scarcity mindset, Tony. You are operating from the fact that this is you think this is the only woman on the planet that you've been able to find that would actually be semi-interested in you. You have assumed your own value to be low. Bill?
Tony, first of all, thank you for your honesty, sir. I want you to know that most men feel this way. They just won't say it. So let's break down this situation to give you a little more clarity, since you took the time to write in. And you know what? I could tell you have watched our Thursday night Swipe Smarter show. So shout out to you, Tony, for watching us on Thursday nights. It's all love here from your uncles. Now, like I said, let's break this down. When a specific woman updates her profile mid-process, I need you to understand that she's shopping. Yeah, you're right. You're not her main pick. You're not her.
Especially not even if you haven't even been on a first date.
You're the maybe. All right. That doesn't make her evil. That makes her realistic. You know what, nephew? You should be just as realistic. Keeping it honest here. All right, here's what's actually happened. She liked you enough for a date. She's hoped something better appears. All right, you're like mid-tier, bro. I'm sorry to say that. You're like the mid to her. So she wants the flexibility to upgrade if she finds someone who hits harder. Now you already feel it. You're not, nephew. You're not imagining it.
And it's got a lot less to do with your looks than you think, too.
Well, Johnny, from my own experience, I can tell you that when women are excited about you, she doesn't keep updating her profile. She doesn't confirm on Friday. She doesn't hedge. She certainly doesn't hesitate.
Yeah.
And they don't treat you like you're a placeholder.
Well, no,
Right? So
and I
you're
mean, the
not
thing of it is,
reading. I need him to understand he's not reading into anything. He already read it correctly.
right.
So what
The
are
only
your
mistake I
options?
think he made was he put all his eggs in one basket so far. Listen, this is a dating app, man. You don't just stop after you got one match, man. If you do it one match at a time, dude, Uncle Bill and I would still be working on our, fifth or sixth matches. I mean,
Bruh.
you don't go one at a time. You're going to end up having a conversation with a handful of people, or at least you should be.
You should be absolutely right, Johnny. So, what are your options? I'm glad you asked. Well, you could keep seeing her, but treat her with the same energy she's given you. How about we do that? All right, meaning you don't invest heavily, you don't assume exclusivity, you don't wait on her, and you don't emotionally attach before she even proves she's interested in you.
Yeah, if you haven't even been on 3 dates with anybody yet, there's no reason that you can't have 4 or 5 conversations going in these dating apps, to see if you're compatible enough to at least exchange phone numbers, if not more. But remember, messaging on the app is about a quick volley to find some sort of conversational compatibility and then an exchange of phone numbers. The phone is simply for scheduling that first date and making sure that you have a date and a time and a place to get together. The other interaction should be something that involves vocals, visuals, preferably face to face, side by side, never across, right, Uncle Bill?
That's right, Johnny. Hey, look, real quick. Mini Mom mentioned better to be alone than be the backup guy. Now,
Yep.
in the context of this conversation, we are talking about him being the backup guy, but I do have a little experience, Mini Mom, in being the side guy. So, well, I don't want to get too off track, because there are certain benefits of being a side dude, but you're not a backup dude. So, all right. I don't want
No,
to
you're
get
the
off
main
track,
course, man.
Johnny.
No, what this guy's got to understand is that if what you're looking for is to not be the side dude, you're looking to be the guy she wants to go out with, then I would say your search needs to continue. What you're hung up on is that you're attracted to her and you really want her to change her mind and be attracted to you. She has decided within the first 5 minutes of talking to you, maximum, whether or not she was attracted to you. The fact of the matter is that she's not settling for you for a relationship. She's willing to maybe settle for you on a second date if you confirm Friday, if she hasn't found anything better. You know why she wants you to confirm Friday? Because she's probably talking to enough guys that she might lose track and forget to talk to you on Friday to confirm your Saturday date. Again, this is kind of her situation where she's looking for that best offer. And if you are the best offer she can get, she'll confirm with you on Friday. If not, you may or may not even get a response. It's kind of the way it goes on these dating apps, okay? The thing of it is that you have got to remember not to take it personal. Remember, that's just a no, and no means go, as in go on to the next one. Keep striking up those conversations. More importantly, keep working on you every single day. I want you to start doing things to improve your life. I don't care which facet of it is. Um, for me, it started with making my bed every day, and now I actually keep a way tidier house than I ever did, and I'm just as much a bachelor as I was 20 years ago. You can create good habits for yourself, and those good habits will work towards a routine called a program. Once you've got something that other people are going to need to fit in order to fit into your life, you have gained a certain self-love and self-respect that is exuded as self-confidence. And I'm telling you, that will carry you a long way further, believe it or not, than looks or even wealth ever could. It's crazy, but once you realize that, once you put it into practice, you would be surprised how right I am about that. But like LeVar Burton would say, you don't have to take my word for it.
Okay, nephew, what I need you to do is keep dating other women aggressively and openly, not to spite her, but to protect
No.
yourself. She's choosing from a menu, so should you. All right, and this is really important. Don't try to win her. This is a trap that a lot of men fall into. You're not
save that for the Hallmark Channel at Christmas time.
You're not absolutely do not audition for a woman who doesn't even value the seat you're sitting in. All right. Interest cannot be negotiated into existence. No. If she wanted you as a priority, you'd feel it. All right. So
you'd be living it. Yeah.
Here's your guiding rule. If you have to wonder, you already know.
And the thing of it is I want you to think highly enough of yourself, at least, to not be willing to, as you say, learn to navigate being the backup guy. If you are the backup guy to yourself, if you've already relegated yourself to being the backup guy, and that's all how you think of yourself, what do you think she's going to think of you? Next thing you know, you're going to be that guy that pedestalizes every halfway decent woman that speaks your name on purpose. This is not a situation in life you want to be in. You want to know that you deserve to be the top guy on her list. The guy she thinks about when she wakes up, the guy she thinks about before she goes to sleep. If you are not getting that vibe from somebody, and that's the vibe you want to be getting, you keep moving on. Look, nobody said this search was going to be easy, and nobody said you weren't going to be going through large numbers of women who are going to, you're going to have to get the past ones that ignore you. You're going to have to get past the ones that leave you on red. You're going to have to get past the ones that you only had a couple of messages with and they dropped off. Then you're going to have to get past the ones that you got the phone number with but never set up the date. Then you're going to have to get past the ones that you only got a date or two with. There are going to have to be those failures. And when they happen, if you're confused by them, that's what you got us for. If you're not confused by them, then that means you at least learned something. But never think of it as a waste. Never think of it as a loss. But remember that you are going to have to use your head. And not just when it comes to thinking critically about what the situation is or what you should be doing, but I want you to also have it in your head that you are the best person, you are the best version of you that you can possibly be, but that you're not satisfied. You still have work to do. You still have ways that you want to make you better. Because when you do, they will follow, because they will see you are a man with a program. You are someone who can lead. And if you know how to lead the right way, believe me, the followers will follow.
Well said, sir. Tony, I need you to stop trying to be chosen by someone who isn't choosing you. Mm-hmm. All right. I get it. Men suffer when they attach before assessing value, but I need you to understand your heart is real, your pain is real, but your power is real too. So take it back, nephews. You should... All right, you shouldn't have to beg for her attention. All right, you shouldn't have to do. I'd get rid of her. If I'm being honest with you, nephew, I find in my experience that women come in high, medium, and low interest. Now, you can take a woman who has high interest in you and turn her into a woman who has a medium level interest with you if you're out here, if your actions are not in alignment with your words. That's the surest, quickest fire way for them to lose interest in you. Start doing sucker shit. Now, once that happens, you really don't gain it back. It's difficult to do that. However, you learn to assess the women that do have a high interest in you, and you learn to only pursue the women who are highly interested in you. And the ones with that mid-level interest, that mid-level energy like she's giving you, you won't even have time for that. So you'll lose interest in it quick when they start showing you that. So I really think you should get rid of her, nephew. But, to each their own. If you want to keep her around, you want to keep being a backup. But I'll tell you what, you subscribe to my channel, you write me on Facebook, you write me on IG. I will have a private conversation with you about how to be a side dude instead of a backup guy.
Yeah, and and first of all, thanks to everybody. Yeah.
All right.
John, thank you to everybody who wrote in today. To all of you who wrote, and to all of you who are watching right now, if you are ready for it, I want you to take the Johnny Dumbbell Challenge, and here's how that works. For 4 weeks, I want you to get to the gym 3 days a week. At the end of those 4 weeks, I want you to add a day and get to the gym 4 days a week or more for 4 more weeks. Every 2 weeks, I want to hear from you. Put something in the comments of one of our shows or shoot me an email. Tell me how it's going. But I guarantee you that once you've done that, you will set a routine that not only do you get used to, but you'll rely on. The reason I say that is because a strong body is going to help develop a strong mind. And I think that's what everybody who's watching here tonight, and especially the young men who were awesome enough to write into us, we're here seeking. Remember, you can seek knowledge even if it's only for the sake of knowledge. But when you seek understanding, that knowledge is so much more powerful. And that's what we're here to do for you guys. So hey, we love y'all.
Nephews, we really do love you. We want you to go forth and conquer. So before we wrap up tonight, I want you to hear this and take this with you. No matter what you're facing, heartbreak, confusion, betrayal, loneliness, you are not the victim unless you choose to be one. Every man has a moment where he decides what version of himself walks out of the fire. Tonight is that moment for you. All right. You don't conquer women. You don't conquer the world. You conquer yourself. You conquer your impulses. You conquer your fears. You conquer your patterns and you conquer your weakness. And that's the real battlefield. So when you leave this stream, I want you guys to walk differently. I want you to move with clarity, not desperation. I want you to choose peace, not chaos. I want you to show discipline, not excuses. I want you to stand on integrity, not ego. And I want you to lead with service, not selfishness. And remember, life does not reward soft men with strong outcomes. You want better, then become better. You want respect, then carry yourself like a man who commands it. You want love, then build a life worthy of being loved. Look, your uncles can guide you, but you are the one that has to act. So go forth tonight with your chest open, your chin up, and your purpose locked in. Conquer your habits, conquer your emotions, and conquer your damn life, nephews. And we'll see you next time. Stay disciplined, stay humble, and stay dangerous. Got anything else for him tonight, Johnny?
I do, Uncle Bill. Guys, we're going to see you this Thursday night with Bumble Profile Breakdown. But until then, that gives you a lot of time to get yourselves in trouble. So please, no drugs or alcohol. But if you do drink, don't drive. And if you do drive, don't park, because accidents cause people. We'll see you Thursday.